my message to our team is, hey, let's go home, win one at home, and let's see what happens. But, I mean, these are 2 tough losses. We lose 2 games 2-1 in this series, and, you know, let's get prepared for Monday, and here we go.
To your right, Joe. Andrew?
Joe, can you take us through what you saw in that last play and then your discussions with the umpires?
Yeah, just what I saw the last play was they were aggressive. We had a shot at home. The ball short hopped Sanchi, and he wasn't able to come up with it. You know, if he comes up with it, it's an out. He wasn't able to come up with it. Just, you know, he did his best and wasn't able to come up with it, and I just wanted to make sure there was no interference, and I didn't see any interference at second. You know, it was a pop-up slide. That's legal. You know, you're kind of hoping. Yeah, I mean, but everything he did was legal. He didn't get into Didi or nothing, so.
Meredith?
Joe, what happened with Severino?
Well, I mean, we saw him throw that the one change up, and then he kind of, you know, did this with his arm, and there was some concern on our parts there, and that's why I ran out, and he reassured me that he was fine, and, you know, some of our staff thought that, and some people who were watching him thought that maybe he was pushing the ball a little bit. He wasn't very happy I took him out. But I think it's my responsibility to protect this kid. He's very young. He's thrown more innings than he has thrown during the course of the season. He gave us a great effort today. But we felt that, and I felt, it was me, that I couldn't take a chance. And he checked out fine from our doctors, you know, but I haven't seen him do this, and a red flag went up for me, and that was a concern. But, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that we'll look at it more tomorrow, but he checked out fine from our doctors.
To your right, Joe. Ken?
Joe, just to follow up on that, more exams tomorrow you anticipate?
Well, I would anticipate. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to the doctor yet, but I think they, you know, they might look at it. Who knows?
And I'm sorry, just to have your pitching staff give up 4 runs in 2 games and come in with 2 losses.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But, I mean, they've pitched extremely well. And the good thing is we're pitching really well. And if you continue to pitch well, you're going to have a shot.
To your left, Joe. Eric?
Joe, specifically in Severino, what area? The shoulder, forearm, elbow?
He says he's fine. You know, well, when a guy goes like this, I'm thinking shoulder. Okay, that's my initial reaction. That's why I ran out there. I didn't see him go like this. Then I would think elbow. So, again, being as many innings as he's thrown, concern, I wasn't going to take a chance. You know, my hope is that he continues to check out fine, but I wasn't going to take a chance.
And then the Correa home run, what was your perspective on that?
Well, we saw the hands there. You know, I wish sometimes they had a camera that went straight along the fence opposed. You know, I think it's really close. I can see why they didn't overturn it, but with the angles that they have.
To your right, Joe. Joel?
Sanchez and Judge are 2 of the reasons you're here.
Correct.
But they've obviously struggled in the postseason. What do you see? Is this a pressing situation, and would you even consider moving them around in the lineup a little bit? No,
you know, I'm gonna stick with the same lineup because things can turn really quickly. I mean, there's a lot of guys that struggle in the postseason. I mean, that's just what it is. And if you just start moving people around trying to play a hot hand, it doesn't necessarily work. They'll have a day off tomorrow, and they'll get back on track. No, I mean, I think they're seeing a lot of good pitching. They're making pitches on these kids. And yeah, maybe are they trying a little bit too hard? Yeah, of course. But I think everyone out there is probably trying a little bit too hard.
In the center, Mike.
Joe, I might be wrong about this, but when Judge cuts the ball off, would you like to see him make a stronger throw in, or did maybe he not expect that the guy was going to?
No, I think he did the right thing. He got it to Didi. I mean, that's the bottom line. He got it to the guy on the field with the best arm. You know, and he had to cut it off, and he got it in quickly, and we had a shot at home. It's not Aaron's, nothing with Aaron.
Right up here, Mark.
Kind of a 2-part deal. One, if you don't mind, tell us some more about what you saw from Verlander, and what you think about what Correa is doing at the plate.
Well, I mean, these are 2 really good players. I mean, Verlander's been through this so many times, and he was sharp today. I mean, he was not in long counts. And when we've had success off of him, we've got him in long counts. I thought his command was really, really good today. Correa had a big day today. You know, it's not unusual for him to have a big day. It's kind of what he does, and that's probably why they hit him 4th.
Right here, Meredith.
Joe, in the third, Gardner tried to stretch a double
Yeah.
into a triple. Espada clearly waving him there. Do they need
Yeah.
to be more cautious in that situation? Or are
Yeah.
you okay with the aggressiveness?
Well, I mean, I think he's trying to get him to third, knowing that Verlander bounces some balls from time to time. But, yeah, I mean, it's in hindsight, you know, we probably should have held him up. But it's a split to second decision on Joe's part. And I don't have Joe's a really good third base coach. And, you know, it happens. I mean, the one thing that, again, that we don't have is we don't have a lot of time to make a decision. And he thought Girardi would make it. And it was a perfect relay, and we didn't. Just talking about the situation.
Two last ones in the back and the center.
Would you share us any update of Tanaka's leg got hit last night?
Well, I didn't look at it, but I'm sure it's nice and black and blue, and I'm sure it will remain black and blue for a few days. He had no issues today with it. I mean, he was able to do his work, but it's probably hurts.
So still thinking you're going to make him pitch at the
Game 5. He's Game 5.
Okay.
Now on your right,
Joe,
Dave.
on the home run, Judge actually had a pretty good track on it and just kind of maybe short-armed it a little at the end because do you think that was unfamiliarity? Do you think that's in Yankee Stadium, a place he's familiar with?
Yeah,
He could make a more aggressive
I'm
play
sure.
there.
I mean, he doesn't have the ability to play 81 games here and to know exactly how the field is. And I thought he gave a good effort. And, you know, I think he was over in the gap a little bit and had to run a long ways and just wasn't able to get there.
All right, Joe. Thanks very much.
Yeah.